when we bring our students into the brainery, we don't let them all run through the gate at the same time. That can create issues with, for example, defensive redirection, present all sorts of negative moods and associations with coming into the brainery. So what we do instead is we let them through in small groups, we let them through under control, one at a time, and we prevent gatekeeping. So you can see Bonnie here who's waiting for me. She's not interested in the other dogs. She wants to have a good time with me. There can be a welcoming committee, but we can't have them guarding the gates. Same on the way out, we will have some calm time around the gate where our students need to wait for their name to be called before they come through. This prevents rushing through the gate, and again, it prevents things like overexcitement, overwhelming and defensive redirection. Keeva Beeva is doing her square drill here. This is a fantastic drill to start your walking journey. She's a little bit further on in our training and we're using this to review. When you're starting off, you'll have lots of time to be able to reinforce the behavior that you're trying to reinforce. But with her, we're starting to teach her to move and be fluent and seamless in her movements and to remain attentive to her handler. We've got to practice going to the left, and that can present some difficulties for our students, but that's okay, that's why they're here to learn. By going around to the left, we are making our dog slow down so that we can go around them. We also finished up her training session with some liberty, and she found that truck to be very, very disturbing. How can I teach my student to be patient at the door and realize that just because the door is open doesn't mean that we lose attention to me? Well, sometimes it's just the sound of the door latch. That is exciting because as soon as I start playing around with the door latch, the student understands I'm going to be going out the door. We don't want that to be at a massive increase in excitement, because that massive increase in excitement detracts from the teamwork that we're trying to do. So if the student is already at the door, let's get between them. They will automatically move out of the way. If not, just get a little bit closer until they do yield some space. As soon as that happens, just wait a second. Give them all the space that they need to learn from their mistakes and their successes. Now she's moved right across again, so I'm going to come in here and move between myself and the door. Why? Because she's already pushing to go into the door. Now she's feigning indifference. That's good, that gives us something to work with. Yes. Before she can get over to the door, I'm now going to mark that with Tam. I'm going to put some food into the corner here. Reward placement is important. Yes, before she gets over there. Yes, notice how she's hesitating over towards where the reward placement is coming from. Wait for her to finish eating, I don't want false positives. Wrong is a preconditioned marker to say what you're doing is not appropriate to this moment in time. Try something different. Yes. Notice that I've opened the door. I've opened it just a crack. I've shut it. I've said yes, and I've fed over there. Patient. The door is open a crack. Yes. Words are important. I did it wrong just then. Say the marker either wrong or yes, followed by closing the door. As follows. Yes. Always close the door afterwards. Always paying over here. I'm keeping this lead loose, but she can't break away. Come on in. Where is her enthusiasm, her excitement directed? Back towards me. She's looking for the next challenge, especially for herding breeds. It is a fantastic opportunity for them to use us as a surrogate flock of sheep. What does she need to do to me in order for me to say yes? That girl. Nice one. She's free to do whatever she wants. She's not under any commands, but she is hedging her bets to try and make me drop a tam on her So now we're going to do the same thing for the next door. Just do that for as many doors as it takes to get out. Perhaps you live in an apartment, you've got your front door, you have a lift, you have exiting the lift, you have a foyer, perhaps you've got a double airlock situation in the foyer. That's 5 entry-exit ways that you have to practice this before you even get out into the public, thereby keeping their attention glued to you, their excitement at 40 kilometers an hour, and now they have a better understanding and tolerance of what is happening in the outside world. Open it, walk through, give them all of the area, ensuring that as I'm closing the door behind me, there's no way I'm going to jam these guys in the door. It allows them to maintain a heel position as best as they can, and then I can shut the door, 0 drama. So if I need to do it in a hurry, it's a well-rehearsed situation and we're going to end up with the dog either at the heel or at the front position. Now I hear, what if I don't have a door like you do? I've got sliding doors, I've got this door, I've got that door, I've got all sorts of other weird stuff going on. Well, this front door is really no different. You're not interested in the physical door itself. What you're interested in is the threshold. Now, I've seen those students that are just fine here, but as soon as they get here, they're gone. So in that instance, the threshold itself becomes your lesson. So this guy's pretty solid, so we'll see how he goes. Good man. I want to move myself here. And this is what, notice he's going back into the heel. This is really what you're after with your student. I could crush him over and block him, but my goal is to make sure that he can go through if he wants to. That eliminates false positives. If I come back, he's going to happily come back. Notice, thank you, he's 100% at liberty to do what he wants. The only thing that is holding him back at safety is the lead. This is him exercising good decisions. Now what happens when I get onto the doormat? Good man. Notice though he's not sitting. Why is he not sitting? Because there's an uneven surface there for him. He's going to make himself more comfortable. Am I bothered by that in this case? No. But you might be, and that's totally okay. In which case, you ready? Yes. Use reward placement to feed at the heel position. Good boy. Yes. He's patiently waiting. Good boy. Yes. Still patiently waiting. So here I'm not paying him for anything else and making good decisions. Heel. Wrong. So here I want his front feet lower. Wrong. But he's not done this before. Good boy. Good. Wrong. Yes. Because we've practiced what leash pressure means, I can use that to help guide him into the position that I want. So he's had to really tuck his butt in to be able to sit down. Notice I've also said yes to him, so he's free to do whatever he wants, but he likes the heel position. Nellie is one of our recent graduates, and she's taken to the lead quite well. And we're starting to introduce the concept of automatic sits during our walks. This is much more of a healing exercise than loose lead. When I stop, she is to stop and sit. This gives us a good diagnostic later on down the track, because if she cannot sit, then it means that she cannot completely perform the heel exercise, and that shows me that she's lacking the ability to perform as I need her, and that then means that I need to make things easier around her. That's going to help her owners out later on down the track when we're able to get past a whole bunch of distractions. I'm not really worried about her facing and such at this stage. I'm really concentrating on whether she can stop and sit when I stop. I'm going to use different parts of my leg to affect spatial pressure. My ankle, my toe to get Billy back. She's quite fast. Goose is going to come up. I'm going to use my knee to ankle. She sits, and that gives our students pause so that the other students that I call out are able to come through. And this is an important part of our application of the same particular tool. I can use spatial pressure to be able to prevent dogs coming through, but I need to do it at their level. For me to bend right down and affect Billy would have a greater impact on the other students in the yard. So I've got to do it to an individual level. And the rest of the dogs, I mean, you can see here, all of the students are able to respond quite nicely to what's going on. Darcy is a little bit wary about these situations because Darcy hasn't come across this before, and that's okay. And Billy is also a little bit wary. These are two students that are somewhat defensive in their worldviews, and I've got to make sure that we affect that in the right way. That's why I've left them to last, so they don't have to barge through the other students. I'm just giving them codes and Ginny to go through because those are the most stable of the group.